I love cartoons as a medium. I have a Netflix subscription. And when a new cartoon comes out on Netflix, I become happy and feel the need to review said content. Ah, the life of a critic is a fun one. So pray tell, what Netflix cartoon am I going to be reviewing? Well, to answer that question, it's Hilda, a British-Canadian animated television series based on the graphic novel by the same name, made by Luke Pearson. The job of production was taken up by Silvergate Media and Mercury Filmworks, and was released on September 21st, 2018 as a Netflix exclusive. I actually remember seeing the trailer being reacted to by the members of the round table, and that's like how it got into my feed. Other YouTubers. Initially liking what I saw, I decided to watch it, cause I got Netflix. There was literally no reason for me not to watch it. And when I watched those first 2 episodes, I was blown away. I'll get to that part a little bit later in the video, though. I believe that the way you present yourself is very important, and Hilda does this wonderfully. The art direction is absolutely beautiful. The entire show sticks to this very confined palette of very complementary colors, and it just looks beautiful every scene. At the very beginning of the series, we get this wonderful flyover following a raven, and just seeing all the wonderful looking environments. This show is absolutely marvelously beautiful. As well as the animation, it's very smooth, very silky, very bouncy, and very just pleasant to watch. I don't really see that many off frames because it's animated in Flash and whatnot, but it's very good looking for a show that is. I really like the rough edges around the lines of the characters. They just add this little gritty feel that make it more of a tribute back to the original graphic novels. Also, the characters have lovely cartoony designs. I think these are some of the better I've seen come from cartoons. I've never really been a fan of modern cartoony, but this stuff, it just feels so non-offensive and so easy and so just pleasant to look at. Whereas some modern cartoons have why would you ever draw them like this? What the heck? And this is usually played up for laughs, but sometimes I just find it off-putting. Usually in, regular show or Adventure Time. I wasn't a big fan of the art styles of those, but this one is just nice. Also, I should mention the storyboarding is absolutely wonderful. Just the way that the scenes flow into each other. I've never had a single moment where I'm like, what the frick is this camera? I want it to change right now. No, every single shot taken looks absolutely wonderful. Whoever's doing this, they need a raise because they are doing wonderful. And the music, it is beautiful. The music is this synthy pop kind of style that just really adds to the whole mystical vibe of things. It just sounds really nice, smooth, complementary to all the moods, especially with the paletting. It just fits it like a glove. One of the best soundtracks I've heard yet. And that's saying something, because I've heard Over the Garden Wall. I'm secretly just waiting for them to release the entire soundtrack on Google Play so I can go buy it. The voice acting is okay, it's fine, nothing absolutely amazing. I really do like Hilda's voice, and I find, again, this show is just kind of this non-offensive, doesn't step on your toes at all vibe. It's so easy to watch. It's one of the most wholesome things I've seen. And big kudos to you if you can do that, because that gives you more of an audience. Because if you're not offending anybody, then people won't avoid it. Oh yes, and the humor. I think that the comedy in this is actually done fairly well. It's done rather sparingly, but there are a few jokes that are pretty dang funny in there. I'm not going to spoil any though, because, what's a joke if it's already been spoiled for you? The fact that it's there is really nice. It just smooths things along, even though it's already really smooth. And overall, the presentation is just nice. Wholesome, fluffy, soft. It's just nice. I've never really seen a TV show that's this nice, non-offensive, soft, and just enjoyable and chill and lax as this one. It's very mystical as well. It's always got this like mystery element or kind of out there ideas with all the magical creatures and whatnot. I mean, they're probably not magical, but there's fantasy creatures, so excuse my French. But this show does give me some serious fairy tale vibes, and they're very much appreciated. Really helps with the atmosphere. It also goes very well with the palettes. Now we're gonna get a bit into the story and the characters. Oh yeah, guys, spoilers ahead of this point. And let me start off by saying, the first 2 episodes, that whole intro thing, it was absolutely wonderful. It was a great start. It had good pacing, good arc. The whole meaning behind it was just so powerful. Like, the parallelity, is that even a word? Am I making things up? Probably, but I'm gonna roll with it. You guys know what I'm talking about. The parallelity between the giants and Hilda terrorizing the elves was just done so well, and I think it wasn't too on the nose, which made it just like a last moment realization, oh, this happened, and it wasn't too much in my face, and I really appreciate that. I feel like some series are too on the nose with their whole parallelity when they want to do stuff, and this is a bit refreshing because I don't have to deal with that now. It didn't really make the actual, like, literally, oh, this is the way it is, until, like, the very end. It's like, yeah, if you haven't figured it out by now, then you're a little bit slow. Also, the character growth of Hilda just becoming more acceptant of her situation just felt so satisfying. My problem with the next part of the plot is the move to Trolberg. It just felt like you could have just stayed in the forest and you could have had your entire season there. I mean, seriously. You could have explored a bunch of ideas. There's like plenty of things that you could have been doing in that forest, and I think just pushing them into Trolberg seemed a bit forced. I mean, it made sense how this happened, but, you know. I mean, you could have just actually taken the first 2 episodes, stretched it to the length of the season, and you could have actually got a pretty good plot, in my opinion, as long as it wasn't too padded. Heck, I would have been happy if you moved them to Trolberg halfway through the season. I still wanted to see more of the woods. I think it was a missed opportunity there. Which leads me directly into my next problem with the series. I feel like they settled too quickly into Trolberg. I feel like it's supposed to be 5 episodes to get from episode 3 to episode 4. It felt way too quick. Like, from Hilda getting settled into their school. There's a lot of stuff we don't see on screen happening that I think really should have been covered. I think they should be more optimizing with their story here because it's kind of lackluster after the 2nd episode. That being said, I actually felt that the struggles later in the season were pretty good, actually. Like the disagreements between Hilda and Frida. It felt actually like this was going to happen in this situation because of what has been laid out. It didn't feel pushed on us for no specific reason just because they needed to like add some drama in there. No, it felt like this was a legitimate step that they took and didn't feel wrong. Fight me in the comments. Also, I want to say that watching David going from the wimpy boy at the beginning of the season to actually sticking up for himself once he's begun of Frida. Not to say that Frida was bad for him, it's just she sort of sheltered him. As for the chemistry between the 3, I think it's actually pretty good. You get some funny moments out of it, especially with Hilda more or less mocking David. It's more of teasing, not really mocking his scaredy catness and actually trying to help them. Mostly with David being the punchline of things, or the one that they need to help. So that leads us to my biggest gripe with the entire series as a whole. The fact is, there is no long overarching plot that ties all of it together and has arcs that go through it. I feel like a show like this would really benefit from something like that. It kind of comes off as a do-nothing show that's just about characters. Not that these can't be good, such as like Clannad, but in the end, Clannad ended up having a plot. I just feel like if they don't do plot in season 2, it's not going to be nearly as good as it could be. Figure out a way to propel the characters into a story that feels natural and fleshed out, like the whole thing with the library and that secret room. Make something like a tie to like something or someone being super powerful or something, and like them going missing or whatnot, or have like a mystery around it. I think a mystery would really help the show along. Another thing I'd like to see in future episodes is Hilda being developed further. I mean, we have seen her go through stuff, but I want there to be a consistent level of development. I want to see the same amount of development that we got in season 1, and to like complete her arc of her learning how to be a good friend and a good citizen of Trolberg. So what are my thoughts on the series as a whole? It's pretty dang good. It's very soft, easy to watch, and just not hard at all to enjoy. It's just one of the easiest things to watch I've ever seen, and that is so nice and refreshing to see. Humor's okay, the story's kinda meh, but as long as they develop on the bad parts in season 2, I will be perfectly happy. And my overall rating, I give this a 7.4 out of 10. Definitely worth the watch, so if you have Netflix, go watch it. You have no reason not to. So that concludes my review of Hilda Season 1. Did you agree with me? Did you disagree with me? Do you think I'm absolutely out of my mind in stating all of this? Please comment below, like, and subscribe for more content in the future, and I'll probably be releasing videos every week or so, depending on how aggressive my work schedule is.